Today's episode comes to you from a dog park.
A what?
A dog park.
A park for
A
dogs.
park for dogs. Why? We'll tell you about it. Hey, it's Scott and Jeff, and we're talking about how to be happy, as mentioned. And one thing that you can't ever discount is the power of a beast, a friggin' cur.
Talking oxes from Oxnard.
Talking about dogs.
Yes. Or cats.
Or dogs or cats.
Fish. A cricket.
Any
might
kind of
even.
pet at all, of course, can bring anybody joy.
Which begs the question. I hear this all the time. What's the best? It's the dogs versus cats.
Oh, the dogs versus cats?
Yeah,
sort of thing?
yeah.
Well,
So I'm curious.
Obviously, we're here at a dog park in Draper, Utah, and it's there goes a dog now.
Right
Just
there. That's awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And anytime you get out in a dog park, you're going to see all kinds of dogs, different breeds, different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly, in the airports and in public everywhere now. I say airports
Yeah.
only because we travel a lot as
Yeah.
public speakers. But we see dogs that aren't necessarily just seeing eye dogs anymore.
Yeah.
Because that used to be sort of the traditional animal that you'd see going through an airport or getting on a plane
Yeah.
or accompanying his or her owner.
Yeah.
Now you have therapy dogs.
Yes.
And that's a thing.
Yeah. A thing that's kind of controversial right now since
why
that
is
person,
that?
well, there was a person, I can't remember where it was, but they brought on a therapy peacock onto the plane. And
Well,
that's just...
correct me if I'm wrong, but a peacock is not a dog.
No,
technically.
no, and I don't know what
So you're saying that
therapeutic-
therapy animals aren't just dogs, that they have all kinds of...
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You can maybe file for or petition.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at this. Turn around. Look at that. Nate.
I know, like it's a little
Look at that
Akita type dog.
Cute little dog. there. He's
yeah.
just coming over and sniffing our cameraman.
Yeah.
I love it. See, because we are at a dog park, they're all off leash.
Yeah.
And I would say, even for those of you that don't have a dog, coming to a dog park and just seeing the dogs
It's
is
fun.
therapeutic and
Oh,
fun.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's so many cute breeds and they run around. Now, we're kind of earlier in the morning. There's not tons of dogs here now, but look at him go.
Look at that.
I mean, that's just a full tear.
Yeah. If you're looking for something, let's say you're younger, right? Let's say you're in high school and you're watching this, right? One thing I did in high school as my part-time job is I worked at an animal hospital.
Yeah, so you worked for a vet.
Yeah, I worked for a vet all through high school, all through college. That was my part-time job. Every afternoon I'd go and I did everything short of surgery. I mean, I assisted in surgery. I checked people in. I gave dogs pills, gave shots, did heart transplants.
Yeah, all the technical stuff.
Hip
Cleaning up poop.
dysplasia. Yeah,
exactly. Wiping up vomit.
But think about that. That's something that for me it was a lot of fun. But I'm telling you, there were dogs that were typically thought of as the nicest dogs in the world versus the meanest dogs in the world, and it was just the opposite. Oh,
yeah, I know pit bulls obviously get a pretty bad rep, and they, statistically speaking, probably deserve it to some extent. But I've also heard that it's based on their owners.
Yeah.
That naturally a pit bull and those types of dogs, they do inherently and instinctively want to rip your throat out. But if you'll love them and care for them
Yeah.
and respectfully, raise them, they'll end up not
Yeah.
killing you in your sleep.
Pit bulls were the easiest dogs to work on in the hospital.
Now,
so,
why is that?
So I don't know. They were so tough. You'd put them up on the tray and they'd be just kind of sitting there. All right, do your worst, and you'd sit there and you'd put the anesthesia in them to put them down to, maybe neuter them or do something else, right? And they're just like, yeah, whatever.
Look
Of
at
course,
that happy little
when
dog.
they
See,
woke up,
he's happy.
yeah,
And
totally
if he's
happy.
everybody else is happy too.
The other dogs that people traditionally think are the worst and the meanest dogs in the world, Dobermans and German Shepherds. But again, the nicest dogs in the world. So,
And
what
you
do
grew up with a dog. You had
Yeah,
Jessie. I
yeah.
know you had Jessie for how many years?
Oh my goodness. I think she was about 14. She's a mix of a bloodhound and a Doberman. And she was almost kind of like a border collie type, really. I guess that's more or less what it was.
Yeah.
But she was a Frisbee dog. I used to make videos with her against my G.I. Joes, and oh yeah, it was.
And you
it
were
was
the
a
youngest
blast.
in your family, so I know some of your older siblings were a bit older than you.
Mm-hmm.
So it always seemed to me like at some point, you weren't an only child because you had Amy as well, but kind of as the boy there, it seemed like you and Jessie did a lot
Oh
together.
yeah, we went hiking, you know, and I'd have to clean out the little cockleburs out of her tail when I got home and all that stuff. But man, it was so worth it. It was just
We have 2 dogs.
yeah.
now.
And what are the breeds you have?
We have 2 mini schnauzers,
Yeah.
white mini schnauzers.
White mini schnauzers.
And you know, they can be kind of an energetic breed, but they're incredibly loving and kind. They have never bitten anybody. They'll bark just because they want to say hello.
Yeah.
We have schnauzers that live across the street, and they always come and bark at me in the mornings, or when I come out. And it sounds like a menacing bark, but I know that that breed is really just them greeting me.
Yeah.
And so I'll just stand there and wait for them to come over as they're barking, and then reach down, which most people would say, you know, it's barking, don't. And then I know he just wants me to pet him
Yeah.
and say hello, and then he goes waddling back to his owner's house.
Yeah.
You know, but getting out, having a good time in the sun. But you know, pets, animals, any kind that can bring you a little bit of joy. There's something about that. I don't know why.
Yeah, you know, and I mentioned the top misconceptions that people have about dogs that are the meanest. Now, here's the ones that really are the worst,
Okay.
in my experience.
Yes. The worst breeds to
Yeah.
have because they're just
Yeah,
challenging.
yeah. Airedales. You probably, what's an Airedale? Look it up,
It's the curly-haired
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
right?
So that was one of them. The other two that come to mind instantly were chows.
And those are
You
little
know, they're
dogs.
like
kind of.
they can be big though. They got the purple tongue.
Oh, right,
You remember
right,
Judy
yes.
Fair in high school? They had chow dogs, right? So those are tough to work on. But the Shar-Peis, the Chinese wrinkle dogs, oh man, those were tough to work on.
Why? What?
I don't know. There was just something about them. They just really.
Now, what is this? Do you know what this big dog is?
So
here?
I don't know, but we got poodles. We've got
This
heck.
big thing. He's a bear.
No,
It's like
I
a-
know it's
It's like
a
a grizzly bear walking.
it's named after a mountain or something. I can't remember.
It's named after a mountain.
Seriously, it's.
He said he worked at an animal
I
hospital.
know, it's been
He's
so
not an
long.
actual
Yeah.
dogologist.
It's a Himalayan. That's what it is. I think it actually.
The dogs are coming out in full force.
Yeah,
There's
they're having a
camera
good Friday. Yeah.
But if you're looking for ways to be happy, consider a pet. And one other thing to do is look up on Google and look for, if you want an instant upper, spend some time with puppies. I know that around here they have that. If you look online, there's a place called Puppy Barn. And there's other puppy places, little puppy kennels, places where they have just huge litters, and they gather up all these puppies, and you can go and for like $20 an hour, you can just sit and play with puppies.
Wow.
You go into their little pen. You have to negotiate, you know, some of the nonsense, the droppings.
Yeah.
But to just have a bunch of, remember that old Coke commercial years ago, or maybe it was a
Oh
Pepsi one,
yeah.
with the
Kid-
little blonde
yeah.
kid, and he's just being overrun and tackled and licked and yipped and nipped
Yeah.
by these adorable puppies.
Yeah.
There's something in that, having those little bodies against you, licking you, loving you.
And you know, if you're allergic,
That
who
makes you
cares?
happy.
Right.
Well, no, be careful. Yeah, I would look for hypoallergenic dogs.
Do it anyway.
That's why we have the mini schnauzers. They don't shed. It's just hair. It's not fur. And they're hypoallergenic. So with all the allergies in my house, everybody's happy with these dogs. And that's the poignant part. Everybody's happy
Yes.
with dogs, not cats.
Well, we hope you had fun at this dog park with us today. What's your favorite breed
Yeah.
of dog? Tell us. What have you got? How many do you have? How big are they? What do they weigh? What do they look like? We'd love to hear from you. Comment. Like.
I don't want to know all that.
I do.
Well, he's weird.
Yeah.
See ya.